Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. I spent months and months and months preparing for this video, and I've been saving all of my vitamin C empties so that I could talk about all of them here. So as you watch this, just keep in mind that it took me a very long time to go through all of these, and please don't feel like you have to go and buy all of these things. One vitamin C at a time is plenty for most people because most of us are not content creators and we don't spend all of our free time testing products and reviewing them. These are going to be in no particular order. I will start with the ones that are completely empty first, and then I'll go on to the ones that I currently have open and give a short, brief review about each one. I will put links in the description box to both where you can purchase these and to my reviews, and my reviews always include a full list of ingredients. So if you really want to geek out and analyze what sort of vitamin C does this have, is it a vitamin C or vitamin C derivative, is it ascorbic acid, what is it, you can definitely check that out. And then I recommend the website CosDNA. You can go there and go into the Analyze Cosmetics tab and paste your ingredients list in there for any cosmetics you want. You can search by name also, but if you have an ingredients list, you can just put that in there and then it will spit out what all of the ingredients do in a formula, which is really nice for people like me who are not cosmetic chemists. This video is not sponsored by anybody. I did get a lot of these as gifts, but the video is not sponsored, so let's just get into it. Actually, before we start, let me talk about how I use vitamin C. Vitamin C is typically part of my morning skincare routine. Vitamin C can help boost the efficacy of sunscreen and help fight free radicals. I'm also very, very prone to freckles, pigmentation, and sunburn, so I'm constantly fighting this battle of trying to keep my freckles at bay. I don't think freckles are bad. I enjoy them, but I just don't want them to merge into age spots. So I do like some freckles, and I still have some freckles, but I used to be completely covered, and that's no longer the case. My morning routines are super basic: a toner pad, vitamin C serum, sunscreen, and then usually a little bit of powder and sometimes some mascara. So it's really not fancy, but I'm consistent with it. The first one is Some by Me Yuja Niacin Blemish Care Serum. Yuja is a citrus fruit. I think it's similar to lemons. It's definitely in the citrus family. This has Yuja extract of 82.3% and niacinamide 5%. I really enjoyed this formula. It's a gel formula. Does not bother my combination skin in a sense that it doesn't make it more oily or anything. I'm very particular with my morning skincare because my T-zone gets oily. And that's why my routine is so minimal, because I don't want to overwhelm the skin. And so I need a serum that is watery or gel-like, or something that dries down or absorbs and doesn't leave anything behind. I want it to feel like my skin, like I'm wearing nothing. I don't want to feel layers of sunscreen or serums or anything on it. This is really good. I actually have right now a little travel size of it that I got. I'm really happy to have it again. This is something I would get again. It is scented, just like a lot of Some by Me products. It does have a very pleasant scent, but if you need an unscented formula, Some by Me is probably not the brand for you. Most of their stuff is pretty heavily fragranced, but I enjoyed it in all the ways. Texture, and I did notice some brightening. It is important also, though, to note your starting point. So if you are somebody who is just starting with skincare and you have some pigmentation, and you have some dehydration, you have whatever you're having, you will probably see a pretty good improvement from almost anything that you use, as long as it suits your skin. For somebody like me who has been consistent for years and had a blog for 6 years, oh my goodness, it's going to be 7 years. It's almost 7 years. Anyway, for somebody like me who's been into this for so long, for me it's mostly maintenance. I can't expect every vitamin C product to brighten my skin noticeably. There's only so bright that skin can get, but I like to look at, okay, am I maintaining the results? Is it pleasant texturally and so on? Is it affordable in my very subjective view? Of course, everybody has a different budget. So I look at those kinds of things, and it's pretty obvious that my skincare efforts are paying off, because when I stop, my skin slides right back to kind of where it was. So just something to keep in mind. I can't tell you the exact results of each of these vitamin serums because I am consistently using some sort of vitamin C in my routine. But if you are completely new to it and you've never used vitamin C, you can expect to probably see a little bit more dramatic results than I am currently seeing. Next is another one of my favorites. By the way, not all of the products in this video are going to be favorites. Some of these are horrible fails, buyer beware, so definitely stick around so you don't buy them. This is Skin&Lab Vitamin C Brightening Serum. I love that it comes in a glass bottle. I used it in the morning as well. It can also be used at night. The interesting note about this formula is there is some retinol in it, but it is really far down the list, and I'm not convinced that there's enough of it to really make a difference as far as using it during the day. Retinoids typically are not to be used during the day because they get destabilized in the UV environment. But for me, this was fine for the morning. I really didn't see anything drastic happen from me using it in the morning versus at night. I do top it off with sunscreen, and the brand itself, I'm pretty sure, says that you can use it morning and night. It's been a really long time since I've had this. I've had this twice. This is my second bottle, but I've emptied this quite a while back. So I do remember loving the texture, loving the finish. I don't remember the exact brand recommendations for morning versus nighttime, but I think it's just fine in the morning, and that's how I used it. It's really good if you have oily or combination skin and you want a formula that feels like nothing on the skin, because this was so nice and watery that once I applied it and kind of let it set in, just feels like my skin. Next is by Wishtrend Pure Vitamin C 21.5% Advanced Serum. I would say this is kind of advanced serum for advanced vitamin C users because it's a fairly strong concentration. It feels almost astringent when you put it on. If you have any little cuts or scrapes or little open wounds or little acne or anything, it will sting. And some people recently have been posting that once they receive it and open it, it's sort of foamy. The consensus seems to be that it's okay. I don't remember mine doing it, but this is definitely the kind of formula that you want to have just this one probably open and not a lot of other vitamin C's at the same time, because it can oxidize. So you want to be kind of cautious at how you use it. You want to use it up basically before it oxidizes. So it's not a good thing to use in a large rotation because you're just going to be working against time. I like this. I think if you want a fairly robust, like stronger formula that still has a nice watery, very, very, very light texture, this one is a good one. It's not my personal holy grail because I do get sometimes toddler scratches or little nicks, whatever, on my face. I don't love the stinging, but on regular healthy skin with a regular healthy barrier, you shouldn't have any sort of unpleasant sensation. This guy is not empty, but unfortunately I'm going to say goodbye to it just because it is so old now. This is the Melano CC. It is an iconic product for a lot of people. They love it. And the packaging is really nice in preserving it. It doesn't allow any light in, so it doesn't oxidize. It has this little nozzle. You can see mine around the lid is already yellowed. I've used a lot of this. It is almost empty, but there's some things I don't like about it. I don't love the packaging. I like that it's completely sealed off from the light, but you have to squeeze it out one drop at a time, and the formula is slightly oilier, which can give you kind of a glow, but it's not my preferred formula. I was really excited to try it, and I definitely gave in to the FOMO of this, the fear of missing out, because so many people love it, but it's just not my favorite. And people did tell me that they squeeze it directly onto the face without touching to the skin, the nozzle, but still I actually prefer droppers, to be honest. So it's not bad. I remember enjoying it when I first started it, but the more I used it, the more of a hassle this packaging became, and the more I was reaching for serums that were easier to dispense. This one is not a straight up vitamin C. It's a Mary&May Citrus Fruit Tremella Serum, and this citrus unshu fruit has more vitamin C, I think, than lemons, and their marketing around this is pretty good. It's a nice gentle serum, especially for people who can't tolerate traditional vitamin C. It shouldn't cause any stinging or anything, but Mary&May serums in general all sort of blend together for me. They're not very memorable, except for their Adebenone serum. I really enjoyed that one. That's an antioxidant serum and potentially could be a vitamin C alternative. But the other Mary&May serums that I've had, they don't make an impression. And again, if this is your very first antioxidant type product, you might be totally in love with it. Or if you can't use other vitamin C serums, and you need something super gentle, this might be your holy grail. But for me, it's not. It's just not that impressive. It's not bad. It's not overly good. I don't really care to have it again. I thought I'd throw it in here because I kept it for all this time for the purposes of this video. But if I were doing like my top vitamin C serums video, this would not make the cut. This would definitely not make the cut. This made the worst video, but not the best one. This is terrible. This is Medicube Deep Vita C Ampoule. It is so disgusting. If you want to smell like dirty hot dog water or like steamed pork, this is for you. It smells so bad. It does have some good qualities, the best quality being the packaging. You get 3 individually sealed little bottles and then a dropper. So you open one bottle, stick the dropper in, use it up, then open the next one, blah, blah, blah. It keeps it fresher. But honestly, that's it. That's where the positives end. It honestly smells so bad I couldn't use it on my face at all. I used it up on my body, and even there it just stank. I do know one person who can't use other forms of vitamin C who is really enjoying the effects of this and is willing to put up with the smell, but I'm just not a martyr like that. I have other choices, thankfully, and I will take almost any other vitamin serum over this one because just no thank you. Another contender for the worst vitamin C serum of all time, Bellflower, innovative and trustworthy vitamin C 20% serum. This one is so greasy. If you've seen my sunscreen video, there's a sunscreen I talk about that at first I liked, and then I thought, oh, this is so gross and sticky and yucky. It wasn't the sunscreen, it was this. This thing isn't just oily and disgusting by itself, it makes all your subsequent layers oily and disgusting also. What a fun bonus, right? I tried using this on my legs, and I still, even when I apply it on my legs and let it sink in and then do a body lotion over the top, I still feel the grease and the stick. This also went dark super fast. It came kind of colored. Even when I got it, it was really not clear. I emailed or messaged on Instagram the brand asking them if it was okay, like did I get an old bottle or is it really supposed to be that color? They eventually told me it was supposed to be that color, but it got dark so fast, way darker than the starting color. It's gonna be one of the products that I just have to throw away. I can't even give it to anybody. The texture is gross. I'm pretty sure it went bad already, even though I've only had it for a little bit. I've had vitamin C serums last way longer than this, so I don't know what its problem is, but yuck all around. Don't buy this. This is my last empty one, and then I have a couple that are open currently and we're making good progress. Stay with me. This is Farmstay Dermacube Vita Clinic Serum. It looks like this. I have a complicated relationship with Farmstay. When I was buying everything with my own money, way before I had any PR or anything else, Farmstay was a very attractive option because they make huge bottles for cheap. But they are cheap in all the senses. They're affordably priced, but they also feel cheap. The fragrances a lot of the times smell cheap. It just is not a luxurious or even just a normal skincare experience that I expect. A product can be affordable and not feel cheap. Cheap and affordable are different things. Cheap is like a mindset. Some things are just not well made. Think about AliExpress style of products. Cheap and also just But I think in recent times they are making an effort to not be like that, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with this product. I wouldn't call this a serum. It was more of a lotion. It's definitely thicker. Did have a scent, but not unpleasant. It has a pump, which I enjoy because it might be better than a dropper, especially for a thicker formula like this, definitely better than a dropper. It is a big bottle, and I already said that I prefer serums in the morning. I use vitamin C in the morning. I don't really need a lotion in the morning with vitamin C, so I ended up using it on my body, but I did see some results. I had pretty bad marks from ingrown hairs all over my leg because I wasn't so smart and I picked at them, and it left just huge. You see how fair I am. My legs are even more pale than this, and everything shows up. I have a video about dealing with ingrown hair, marks, and things like that, and what I used, but this was one of the products I used on my body, and I did see some results from it. So if you want a lotion versus a serum with vitamin C, this might be a good option. We made it to my open vitamin C serums now. And I will give you a disclaimer, I really try not to open too many vitamin C serums or too many of a certain kind of product at a time anyway, because I don't want waste. But these 3 here all came in a set. I actually own this one already, so that's why it's the most used one. The one from the set I kept sealed for later, but these are all from Jumiso. I did do a sponsored job for them. Actually, I did a couple, but this video is not sponsored. Let's start with this one. This one is the original one that Jumiso had available prior to 2023, and I've used it before and reviewed it before. This is their All Day Vitamin Brightening and Balancing Serum. This is a really nice serum if you are not quick at using up your serums because it's stable and it shouldn't oxidize. So you're not on such a time crunch like you are, let's say, with my Wishtrend serum. This one has a gel-like consistency. It's clear. The bottle is just orange, but the serum itself is clear, and it really feels like a very thin gel when you put it on, and then it dries down to nothing. So it's my ideal texture. It also should work for sensitive skin. It doesn't sting. If you are new to vitamin C, or if you have a very, very sensitive complexion and you can't tolerate other vitamin C serums, this one will probably work for you. Again, in the review, I list all the ingredients, so please double check because all sensitive skin is sensitive in different ways. But this should be a really nice starter vitamin C or vitamin C for really sensitive skin. These two are new releases. Let's start with this one. This one is Jumiso All Day Vitamin Pure C 5.5 Glow Serum. It has ascorbic acid, ferulic acid, vitamin E, and alpha-arbutin. This one is best used up within 3 to 6 months of opening. This can oxidize. This is more intense than the all day one, the orange one that I showed you. Really nice texture, similar to my other favorites where it's pretty watery. It potentially might sting a little scratches, but I have not noticed that. And of course, the vitamin C and ferulic acid is such a star combo, but the most famous formula, the SkinCeuticals, is really expensive. This is much more affordable. If you have some serious brightening goals, this is probably the vitamin C that you should try. But if you've never had vitamin C before and this is the very first one you're trying, please patch test. It's always a good idea in general. This doesn't irritate my skin, but if you're new to vitamin C, please patch test. Actually, patch test all the new stuff. Do it. Do what I say, not what I do, because I tend to not patch test anything, but you're supposed to, okay? This is the third one and also a new release for Jumiso. It's the All Day Vitamin VCIP 1.0 Firming Serum with ascorbyl tetraisopalmitate, ferulic acid, tocopherol, which is vitamin E, and bakuchiol. This is going to be an evening product for most people, and bakuchiol is the retinol alternative. I don't really think it is, but people like to say it. If your goals include pro-aging or anti-aging, some wrinkle care, and you want a vitamin C, this is probably a good product for you. It has a milky texture. It's more of a nourishing texture than the watery or the gel ones of the other two formulas, but very, very good. Oh, it just made a farting noise. I'm 5. Okay, I'm aware. It has a milky texture. It's very pleasant. I really like it. This is the only one that I use at night. And I do use prescription retinoid, but this doesn't seem to conflict with it. I don't use them on the same night, but yeah, just something to consider. It's a collagen booster. So if you're in your wiser years, perhaps this is the one that you want. By the way, I do have a really detailed article about those 3 serums where I'm comparing them and talking about specifically, if you have this as a goal, try this. If you have this one, try that. So definitely take a look at that. I have a link for that in the description box. This one is the only non-Asian brand of vitamin C that I have. It's by Banish. It was PR. It's an American brand. It's a slightly thicker formula. The brand's whole angle is to help with acne scars and post-acne marks. I am kind of nursing this idea of having my husband use this. It's a slightly thicker gel. For me, it's more of an evening formula, and it smells a little bit fruity. It's not unpleasant, but it does have a scent to it. Again, not a big deal. But my husband really loved their vitamin C cream. He especially loved it when he found out that it was $50, because in his mind, if it's $50, it must be good. He used that whole thing up. He usually doesn't even moisturize. He washes his face and he uses sunscreen. That's it. Those are his 2 steps. But I wonder if I can get him to use this. He doesn't have a lot of dark spots, but he does have some post-acne things happening, and this might be helpful. I don't have anything against it. I also like it, but as you saw, I have some other ones open, and I'm really trying to kind of minimize the amount of vitamin C serums that I personally have because I'm really afraid of something oxidizing and going bad. This is one of my favorites, but it's probably cost prohibitive for a lot of people. It's the 107 Socio Vin Biome Vitamin C Serum. It has a slightly thicker texture, and if you apply too much, it definitely makes my skin feel a little bit too oily or a little bit too nourished for morning. But I figured out the perfect amount, which is just 3 drops. And it makes my skin glow even through sunscreen. but without making it oily or greasy. It's similar kind of to the effect of Claire's, except I like the texture here better. Claire's is more oily, and Claire's gets warm when you apply it. I don't really find the warmth in this one, and it's been staying clear. I've had this for a few months. I've done a review. I've done a sponsored review actually for this one, but it's fairly clear still, actually completely clear, so it's not oxidizing. I am judicious about using it though, because I would really not want this to go to waste. I really enjoy 107 brand, and all of their products are kind of more premium priced, but I feel like in the case of this brand, it's actually justified. I have not tried a 107 product I didn't absolutely love. It would be a splurge for me if I were paying with my own money, but I would actually feel justified in splurging on that because I really enjoy it. And last but not least, it's actually unopened, but it's my second bottle of this Vitamin C serum by Purito. Purito had at least 3 versions of the vitamin C serum that I know of. I tried the first one back in 2016 or 2017 when they only had 3 products total. I had a terrible reaction to it. It just turned red and warm, just flushed. It was bizarre. And I didn't ever try the second version of it because I was kind of weary of the same situation happening. But then they released this version, the third version. And I'm not sure if they're on to the 4th one now or not. I tend to lose track a little bit of their products because they have so many now. I used to be able to try and review every single one, but they grew outside of my capabilities now. Okay, but this is a really good kind of liquid. You get a pump with it, and a pump is a perfect distribution for this, although a dropper would have also worked, but it feels like nothing on the skin in the best way. And I'm not allergic to this one. I don't have any reactions to it whatsoever. Works great for me, and the bottle is nice and general. It's 2 fluid ounces, and it's not very expensive. So if you're looking for a vitamin C for the body, this I would say is also a pretty good budget-friendly choice. We made it. If you made it this far, tell me what you think about it, and also check out my hippo shirt. It says official napping shirt, except I'm not napping, I'm filming. And then I have to do grocery shopping. So tell me what you think. Do you use vitamin C? If you do, what brand do you use? What's your favorite? When do you use it? Do you use it in the morning? Do you use it at night? Do you use it both times? Both times is totally fine. My nighttime skincare routine just includes other things that are not vitamin C. But basically, tell me everything you want to tell me about vitamin C or any of these products that I showed you. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much.